This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Leo Inc., Daolis Brothers Construction, and King Movers and Storage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into the LCTV News. Fall is in full swing, and with it comes a collection of holiday festivities and city announcements. The lowdown this week looks forward to a Veterans and First Responders Parade taking place in September of 2026. We have plenty to cover, so here we go with the news for Friday, October 24th, 2025. The Lynn Police and Fire Departments have been competing in Battle of the Badges games for years, but this was the first time they competed on the hardtop. The first annual Battle of the Badges basketball game took place last Saturday, October 18th, where Fire took the title 58-50. This charity game was full of friendly competition and camaraderie among the departments.
All right, so Battle of the Badges started with Bob LaBerge, who couldn't be here today. He's away. So myself and Craven actually took over this. Here we are. Just pretty much getting the team together, getting practices in, playing pickup every Thursday night with Tim Ferrari over at Factolari. Shirts, warm-ups. Warm-ups are actually donated and sponsored by my dad, Fred Hogan, Ward 6 counselor.
So this is the first time doing basketball. We've done hockey for 2 years in a row now. We've done softball for 2 years in a row. This is the first time for basketball, but definitely not the last. We're going to keep it going.
I personally, yes. I love basketball. I've played basketball my whole life. Actually, me coming out of retirement, the referees actually said at halftime they expected us to be like not good, but they said it's like almost like a varsity basketball high school game. So, I mean, definitely good competition. Down by 8 at the halftime, but we're looking for a good second half. So, yeah, so definitely friendly competition. Obviously, here on the court, getting to play them. Ultimately, bragging rights when you get to see them on calls and stuff. So we're hoping we get those rights. Thank you, everyone, for supporting us.
Ultimately, the Lynn Fire Department ended up with bragging rights, winning Saturday's Battle of the Badges basketball game 58-50 over the Lynn Police Department. Given this was a charity game, all proceeds from the event will be donated to an organization in Lynn to be announced at a later date. For LCTV News, I'm Dani Vittori.
Greater Lynn Senior Services Collaborative Food Hub, the Phoenix Food Project, has been awarded a $22,600 grant for food security initiatives. This grant was administered by the Food Security Infrastructure Grant Program, which is run by the Massachusetts Department of Agricultural Resources. This program seeks to strengthen the local food chain supply by increasing access to locally grown, raised, or caught foods. The FSIG program focuses specifically on capital infrastructure projects in gateway cities, such as Lynn, or food deserts where families struggle with food insecurity. The Phoenix Food Hub is using this grant to expand upon their hydroponics pilot program, a method of growing plants without soil. Through this program, families can take home and are taught how to use hydroponics units to grow basic green foods, such as lettuce or kale, to lessen their grocery bills. According to senior management, PHF which is to use the funds to set up food harvesting festivals and partner with other local agencies to set up larger units. The Lynn Parks and Rec Department began a tradition of their own on the 18th with the first annual Trunk or Treat event at Manning Field. Kids and families alike came in costume to enjoy the more than 25 cars all decked out for the holiday season.
The Lynn DPW Parks and Rec held their first annual Trunk or Treat on Saturday, October 16th. A festive atmosphere filled Manning Field's parking lot with tons of vehicles done up for the holiday, music, face painting, and more. DPW Associate Commissioner Lisa Nerick said her goal was to have 25 vehicles for this first event, which they exceeded with over 30. Lynn Public Health, city councilors, the fire department, police department, and organizations such as East Lynn Little League and Elliott were all in attendance.
We are Liliana and Jorge, but today we are La Chilindrina and El Chavo. We work for Elliott.
The Dani project.
And we are here supporting the community. This is one of those costumes that represents community and people, and we just want to make sure that we are supporting our amazing community. Have fun. Happy Halloween.
We're so excited to be here today for this wonderful event. And yes, all the families came out. We have tons of candy. I'm not that creative, but each year I'll get better, I promise.
Parents and grandparents accompanied children who had a blast seeing cars dressed up spooky, fun, and colorful while collecting some treats.
On October 20th, James Arsenault officially joined the Lynn Water and Sewer Commission as their executive director. The commissioners unanimously approved the employee agreement following a 40-minute executive session. Arsenault then signed the contract, which runs from November of 2025 to November of 2028, with a base salary of $182,000. The commission selected Arsenault back on September 17th, following interviews with several candidates to replace former executive director Dan O'Neill, who retired in July. Originally, the commission planned to discuss the employee contract on October 6th, but the session was postponed until the 20th. Arsenault brings with him a slew of experience as the former Public Works Director of Braintree and former Assistant Public Works Director of Hudson. An ordinance meant to ensure tenants are made aware of their rights and available resources will go into effect on November 15th. The Housing Stability Ordinance was adopted by the City Council in December of 2024 to ensure that tenants, landlords, property managers, and all those involved in renting and leasing apartments are aware of their rights and obligations. The ordinance was created by a team of housing advocates, legal groups, and the City Law Department, and applies to all rental units in the city. Tenants must receive the Tenant Rights and Resources Guide when they sign or pay the first month's rent, renewal of a lease, or if a landlord begins the process of evicting a tenant. Landlords, in turn, must collect a written acknowledgement from the tenant that they received the guide. Failure to do so can result in a $300 a day fine. This ordinance was modeled after similar ones in Somerville and Cambridge. The 10th annual Lynn Proud of My Hispanic Heritage celebration filled the City Hall auditorium the night of the 21st. This event began with the flag parade from Lynn Common to City Hall, before participants were treated to several speeches, cultural performances, and awards.
This is the 10th Lynn Annual Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. The name we have is Proud of My Hispanic Heritage, because when I was teaching Spanish, I noticed that my Latino students, my Hispanic students, they were ashamed to speak Spanish. que este evento es el 10º que se organiza en las escuelas públicas de Lynn. Y es el 10º porque desde que yo empecé a enseñar español me di cuenta que mis alumnos latinos les daba vergüenza hablar español. Y yo les decía, no solamente es vergüenza de hablar el idioma, sino también un poco vergüenza de las raíces, de los ancestros. Por eso este evento se llama Orgulloso de mi herencia hispana. Entonces, the goal of this celebration is to invite Latinos who make great contributions to this country. So where the students, the kids, they can reflect, they can be inspired by those Latinos.
Mis padres, como todos los padres inmigrantes,
my parents, like many parents,
eran trabajadores.
who are immigrants, were hard workers.
A ellos les importaba mucho nuestra educación.
And they cared a lot about our education.
Y todos mis hermanos,
And all of my siblings,
como yo,
like me,
nos graduamos de escuelas de Lynn.
we graduated from Lynn schools.
Fuimos al colegio.
We went to college.
Y todos tenemos carreras en el gobierno, en educación.
And we all had careers in government and education.
Y empezamos con 8 aquí de México.
And we started 8 here from Mexico.
Y tenemos casi 40 miembros en nuestra familia.
And now we have 40 family members.
Entonces, usted puede ver también los trabajos de mis estudiantes de español y usted puede hacer un viaje imaginario por los países de América Latina, empezando con México, Centroamérica, y aquí están los países de Sudamérica y el Caribe.
Como muchos de ustedes,
As many of you,
crecí entre 2 idiomas y culturas,
I grew learning 2 languages and culture,
con historias de migración y perseverancia.
immigration and perseverance stories.
Pero fue la educación
But it was this.
la que me dio las herramientas para transformar esos desafíos en logros.
Education that gave me the tools that I needed for success.
We hope that, every year, students, parents, they can join this event. And also, something is important, Lynn Public Schools, the 75% of the total students are Latinos. And this is why, the importance of this event. También es importante saber que el 75% de los estudiantes de las escuelas públicas de Lynn son latinos. Por eso que este evento es muy importante para sentirse orgullosos de nuestra herencia. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias.
The following night was a very creative event, giving families the opportunity to participate in a costume contest and sign up to vote. Winners Against Drug Abuse hosted the 4th annual Register to Vote and Halloween event on October 23rd, filling Trios Restaurant with music and candy for kids, along with voter information for adults.
Hey, thank you, Lynn Community Television, for coming out. This is our 4th annual costume contest, register to vote event. And like I said, man, if you don't get involved, your voice won't be heard. And this is a popular event we do for the community. I'm Lenny Pena, the host. I'm the owner of Winners Against Drug Abuse. We're a nonprofit, and we do a lot of resources and information for the community. This is one of our most popular events that we do every year. And our goal is to have a safe atmosphere for our children to come and enjoy a nice out and get some information and things pumped out for them. And this is what it's all about for the kids, for me. So, and get your chance to register to vote. Here we are. Thank you. We also do some prizes that we do. We have some cash prizes. We give $100 out for each, for the male, best female, best parent child. That's another category we added. And then this year we're gonna have $200 cash prize for the overall winner. And this is something we do every year. So thank you for coming.
The City of Lynn has released the 2025 Fall Street Sweeping Program and proposed schedule. Sweeping will commence on November 3rd and will be completed on November 28th. If inclement weather prevents workers from sweeping your street as planned, they will come 7 days after the originally scheduled time to complete the work. Street sweeping will take place Mondays through Fridays during the hours of 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. All cars must be removed from the street during sweeping periods and remain off the street until all work is completed for that day. According to the schedule, sweeping will begin in precincts 1 and 2 of Ward 1 and continue through the wards in order until all streets have been cleared. The final day, Friday, November 28th, is currently slated as a general touch-up day. The City of Lynn and Town of Swampscott teamed up for a second Kings Beach Town Hall on Wednesday night. Representatives from the local government, as well as several organizations involved in the UV pilot program, were involved to present information and answer questions from the community.
We ultimately divided the watershed into 14 sub-areas so that we could kind of like hone in our field work. And then that work continued through the 2024 and into 2025. In late 2024, we expanded the program and started a comprehensive drainage inspection and cleaning program to look at all 18 miles of separated drain in the watershed.
All right, so this is a busy graph, and I know it's small for those of you in the back. I think the keys, if you can focus in on, again, this is showing the daily bacteria sampling taken. The orange bars, which are in general taller, are the UV influent. And this is a combined untreated flow, so it's a combination of both of the culverts together as they enter the UV unit. And then the green bars, which are in general shorter, is the UV effluent, so it's the treated flow.
We also got some great information this summer about the complementary solution that we've been evaluating in the UV pilot. And, you know, the long-term question there for some kind of permanent installation is how much that would cost and where we could put it. I think from our experience this summer, we've seen that in order to truly answer those questions, we need to know more from an engineering perspective of what exactly the kind of UV solution that would work here permanently would entail.
Lynn Classical Volleyball concluded their regular season by shutting out Revere at home on senior night. Classical's 3 seniors set the tone, combining for 13 blocks. The Rams finished the year with a staggering 18-2 record, the best in school history. Not only that, they have not lost a single set in October, shutting out every opponent they have faced. The Rams are ranked 13th in the MIAA's Division III power rankings and are locked in for a home playoff match. While St. Mary's is also officially in the playoffs at 10-8. They punched their ticket to the postseason, shutting out Kip Academy 3-0 on the 21st. Valeria Murillo was all over the court, leading the Spartans with 13 service points and 24 assists. Lynn Tech completed the hat trick for Lynn with a shutout of their own over the Academy of Notre Dame. The Tigers are now 14-3, thanks to strong play by Leah Morales with 15 digs, 4 kills, and 2 aces, along with 12 digs and 6 aces by Malheen Williams. In girls soccer, St. Mary's squared off with arch-rival Bishop Fenwick, but came up just short 2-1. Sophie Skabakis scored the lone goal for the Spartans. While English and Classical continued their inter-city rivalry on senior night, in the end it was the Rams defeating the Bulldogs 1-0. Classical controlled possession for much of the game and had several chances before capitalizing on a cross by Chloe Corbett for the only goal of the contest. The best look for English to tie the game came in the 35th minute, but Ava Jones' shot went just wide. It was the same score but an opposite result for the boys, as English came out the 1-0 victor. Woodson Pierre buried an early second-half goal to help his Bulldogs to 6-4-4, while the Rams fell to 3-9-3. With 2 games remaining in the regular season, the Tigers were victorious over the Minutemen 1-0 to improve to 6-8-1 on the year. Last weekend was also a success for St. Mary's boys soccer, as 4 different players scored their 4 goals in a 4-0 shutout over Swampscott, and Nick Fusco recorded a shutout in goal. For football, Kip Academy went on the road on the 16th, but came up just shy 28-20 to Whittier Tech. Kip went into halftime down 14-6, but scored twice in the third to tie the game at 20 apiece. Unfortunately, it was not enough to keep the Panthers' winning streak alive. After a shaky start, the Bulldogs won their 4th straight game, this time hosting and besting Medford 32-12 on senior night. English was also fittingly led by the senior duo of Shane Knowlton-Samard and Xavier Beauchamp. Samard registered 180 total yards and a touchdown pass, while Beauchamp scored 3 times. Classical also celebrated their seniors to the tune of a 12-8 win over Revere. The Rams took a 6-0 lead going into halftime. Dylan Hune added on a rushing TD in the third, and Kalu Naski grabbed a 4th quarter interception to seal the game for the host. While the Spartans pulled out a 24-22 win in a South Philadelphia showdown with Newman Goretti. 3 Spartans scored touchdowns, but it was kicker Ryan Esquivel who was the difference maker, with 3 extra point kicks and a field goal to give St. Mary's a 2-score advantage. In the 4th quarter, it was Michael Sherman hauling in a 3rd and 15 catch to allow the Spartans to run out the clock. But defense was the name of the game for Lynn Tech. The Tigers limited Monami to just 4 first downs the entire game in a 24-0 shutout. Eddie Lewis put on a show with 75 yards and 2 touchdown catches, along with Jadel Ortega, who threw for 75 yards, 2 touchdowns, and returned to pick for a score on the defensive side of the ball. Lynn Tech is now 4-1 on the year. For the pros, the Patriots also continue to roll, extending their win streak to 4 with a 31-13 victory on the road over the Titans. Drake May also continues to impress, throwing for 222 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 39-yard strike to Kayshawn Booty. But it was the defense stepping up again. Not only did they allow no second-half points, but Chasen Glavon ran back a fumble for a defensive score in the 3rd. Next year marks the 250th anniversary of the United States, as well as the 25th anniversaries of 9/11 and the War on Terror. To this end, the Lynn Veterans Council will be putting on a parade that honors all veterans, active military, and first responders who work every day to keep us safe. Just under a year until the event, they were back on the lowdown to discuss how the greater community can become involved. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Dani Vittori, and today we welcome back on 2 members from the Lynn Veterans Council. Thank you so much for coming on again today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Of course. So you're once again on here to talk about the North Shore Veterans and First Responders Parade that will be happening next year, 2026, which feels like far away, but it's really not. You're within a year, right?
Yes. Right, yeah. Yes. It's going quick.
So just for people who maybe haven't seen the first interview or unfamiliar, would you mind just really quickly introducing yourselves and your association with the council?
Sure. I'm Wayne Johnson. I'm the president of the Lynn Veteran Council.
Great. And I'm Katie DiVirgilio, an auxiliary member, first female auxiliary member.
Yeah, there we go. Throw that in there. So for the parade, I was asking you before we started, you said it's on September 20th, 2026. Mm-hmm. So we're within that year mark. And you said, how is it going so far? The fundraising, the awareness, getting people to know about it?
So far, the fundraising is going pretty good. We're almost hitting our mark, but just because we're going to hit our mark doesn't mean we can't go over. So we're always looking for more. More people to donate.
Like you said, your mark is the floor, not the ceiling,
exactly.
Right?
Yes.
You can always afford to go over. Always looking for donations, always looking for people to give to the cause. And the parade, you were talking a little bit about it. What is going to be included in this? It's going to be a very big event.
It's going to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we have police and fire to start it off. We have 7 divisions is what we're going to set up. Each one of them is going to have a band in it. We also have military vehicles that they're going to be coming along. I have 2 World War II tanks that I have acquired, renting. They're not mine. I've rented them from the American Heritage Museum out in Hudson, Massachusetts. So there's 1 Sherman tank and a World War II tank destroyer that are both going to be in it.
That's amazing.
Wow. Yeah, that is amazing. Now I'm going to be looking for them in your backyard. Like, I just borrow them for a little bit.
Right, yeah.
And so it sounds like it's going to be this huge, amazing event. And then, Katie, as an auxiliary member, what's been your role in this, helping with it?
So just like any other member, just I'm not an actual veteran. So I'm attending the meetings. We have separate meetings for the actual parade, and we're looking for volunteers. Anyone, you don't have to be from Lynn, you don't have to be an actual veteran. This is a North Shore parade. It just happens to be in Lynn.
Yeah. In Lynn, but it covers all the North Shore, right?
Correct.
And you said you're looking for volunteers. You're also looking for any organizations who may want to become involved. And if organizations are interested, what would happen if they did sign up? What would the collaboration look like, I should say?
They can get a hold of myself. They can get a hold of anybody really on the Veteran Council. Sergeant Major Oswald, if anybody is familiar with him, he's huge on this. He's doing a lot of the heavy lifting. He's one of the key persons to get a hold of if people want to, other organizations who want to join and be in the parade.
So it's going to be a big event, something that everyone's going to come out and get to see, and it'll be in 2026. You've been planning it now for a couple of years. Why did you choose that point to go, okay, this is when we're going to do this? One of the largest parades.
Great question.
It's the 25th anniversary of 9/11. It's also the 25th anniversary of the War on Terror. And next year, as a lot of people know, is the 250th birthday of the United States. So we figured it would be good to have it at that time to celebrate all 3.
There you go, 3 in 1, right? Mm-hmm. That I know that I've mentioned before, but I always love to mention that to our audience. But how you're hitting 3 major milestones in this country and getting to celebrate them, really.
Yep.
So, what was, sorry, I lost the train of thought there. But in terms of the fundraising, I know you are going to be having one, or you had one in October. And how else can people donate? Let's say they can't come to a fundraiser or the dates don't really work for them.
They can go on Facebook and look up the Lynn Mass Veteran Council. There's, I believe there's a QR code on there. Is there a way?
I believe there is,
yeah. That they can donate through Venmo. There's also can get, send a check into us, a post office box. I don't have the address right in front of me. But there are some flyers that are going around that also have a Venmo on it. It's the easiest way to do it, just Venmo. And
you can message us on the Facebook page. We'll answer.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. That's good. Good line of communication for people who have questions. And I'm curious, I know that we've talked about it a little bit, but how'd you come up with the idea for a parade? At least in my knowledge, it's one of the first ones I've heard of, at least of this scale, in the North Shore.
Right.
We felt that, I grew up in the city, and I remember as a kid, parades all the time, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, and I don't know why, but it seems like we've gotten away from that. 2018, Sergeant Major Oswald and his team put together a parade, veteran parade, that they had here, and we just wanted to continue it and continue the history of having a parade in Lynn. Hopefully it'll catch on, and we'll do more and more as time goes on.
I think it definitely will, because there's a pretty large group of veterans in Lynn, the surrounding communities, and also people like you, Katie, who you're not veterans, but you support the veteran community. So there's really a large audience for it as well, if you think about it.
Yep. This is going to be a very, very large parade. It's going to be about 2 hours, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to need a lot of volunteers, and the sooner they jump on board with us, the more organized we can be.
Yeah, I can imagine, because you have to plan the route, too, of where are we going to go, where are we going to start, kind of thing.
Well, the route, now that you mentioned the route is going to go from the Lynn Fire headquarters down on Western Ave by Market Basket.
Okay.
That big lot in the back there, it's going to come straight up Western Ave onto Chestnut Street, onto Allerton Street, and then it's going to stop at Manning Field. We're also going to have, over where Big Lots used to be, over in that parking lot, we're going to have a touch of truck. So all the vehicles that are in the parade are going to kind of be ferried over that way. So at the end, people come over and take a look at the vehicles that are in the parade.
I would definitely hop in on that. I know touch truck's usually for kids, but I still want to go see it.
We're all kids.
Yeah, we're all kids inside, right?
Yeah.
And you also were mentioning, in addition to the parade, there's another piece of property you're working on creating a memorial there for veterans as well?
Down where the former Lynn Historical, I forget exactly what it was called, Lynn Historical Park, I believe what it was, down on the Lynnway. DCR owns the property now, and we've been talking with DCR through some of our senators to try to get a memorial put down there. And I believe it's actually been changed from to the Lynn Veterans Memorial Park.
Yes.
So we just want to add a memorial to it. And that's our next big one once this parade is done.
Never stopping, right? You do one big one and then this is our next big one, right?
Yep.
I'll be excited to see that too as well. And in terms of, say, I'll circle back to the parade. Anyone who wants to be a volunteer, you said jump right in as soon as you can, but what are the different roles or things that you're looking for people to volunteer for?
Oh, we have people to help out with traffic control. Even though we have the police there, we want to add in some more people.
Right.
Some volunteers to help out at the end of the parade, to hand out water and food, and there's a number of different things that people can volunteer.
How many volunteers do you think we'll have?
We're looking for probably 60 to 70 volunteers to help out on this. Yeah.
Wow. So very large group of volunteers, which makes sense. Large event, need a lot of people to help.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's another way that organizations could potentially do that. If they have members, they could come volunteer as a group as well. You don't have to be an individual, right?
Right.
Right.
I like that. I like that idea. I'm trying to think of. So for the parade itself, how is the planning going? Are people starting to get more excited about it because it is within a year? Is the excitement starting to build up?
We are, and I think the city and the mayor and the council, they're 150% behind us. People are getting excited about this. The last meeting we had, we assigned some certain roles for some people. The next one we have, they're going to come down and brief what they have on the roles that they're doing on this parade. So, yeah, it's getting out there. It's getting very excited. Yeah.
It's getting more real with every step you take,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
It might have just seemed like a concept a few years ago, but now it's, oh no, it's going to happen. It's going to be real.
Yep.
I'm trying to think, because that's all, I think, like all the questions I had about donations, volunteers, everything, but I wasn't sure if there's anything else that you wanted to touch on in reference to that, the memorial that will be coming, or anything else?
Katie had mentioned about volunteers and in the meetings. We have a meeting every third Wednesday of the month. It escapes me now the place we're at.
Magnolia Building, where the old Union Hospital used to be, around back on
okay.
Anchor Road.
Mm-hmm. It's at 6 o'clock.
That's just for the parade.
Just for the parade.
That's not like a Veterans Council meeting. It's for the parade.
For the parade. And if anybody else wants to, help out with the auxiliary, what we've done with the auxiliary is anybody that maybe is not a veteran but has a connection to a veteran. Katie's father was a World War II vet, I believe.
Yep. Grandfather in Vietnam and all sorts.
So, anybody that has a connection but is not a veteran, come on down and join the Veteran Council and help us out with the auxiliary.
Yep.
And as always, I ask any veterans that want to come down and participate in the regular Veteran Council. There's a lot of stuff going on, so we could use their help.
Yeah.
Oh, you have the parade, the memorial, and so many amazing things going on that it's really incredible the work that you do. And I want to thank you again for coming on again to really discuss this. And I'm sure it'll be on one more time before the year's up to really do that final push.
Yeah.
But thank you again so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Of course, anytime. And of course, you can learn more about this parade or the Lynn Veterans Council by going to the resources they mentioned. But for now, I'm Dani Vittori. This has been the Lynn Lowdown, and we'll see you next week with more guests. Join in the effort to keep Lynn clean by participating in one of the Fall Park cleanups. Sponsored by the Lynn DPW and Litter Committee, they are at a different location every Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. Next up on October 25th will be Keeney Park. Supplies for the cleanup will be provided, no registration is required, and volunteering for cleanups can be counted towards community service hours. Cleanups will be canceled in the event of rain. On Wednesday, October 29th, it is the Lynn Public Library's turn to host the 2025 Family Halloween Spooktacular. From 2:30 to 4 p.m., families and children can trick-or-treat through the library. You can also create your own mask in the children's department and stop by the reference desk to receive a tour of the haunted stacks. No registration is required. This event is free and open to all in the community. Then join the Goldfish Pond Association on the eve of Daylight Savings Time, November 1st, to build a Japanese floating lantern at Goldfish Pond. Supplies and instructions will be provided to create your own lantern. They will then all be launched on the pond at sunset. Hot chocolate will be provided, along with a sidewalk art contest for kids. These are just a few of the many amazing events happening all around the city. To learn more about additional upcoming events, the organizations who run them, or other breaking news, be sure to follow @Lynn Community TV on social media. For interviews, election coverage, and our complete community calendar, visit lyntv.org. All staff content is also available to watch on YouTube at Lynn Community Television. I'm Dani Vittori. This is the LCTV News, and we will see you next week for Halloween.
This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Leo Inc., Daolis Brothers Construction, and King Movers and Storage.